Hi, I'm Dr. Kat Childers, Academic Technology Coordinator.
And I'm Christine Jesse, Classroom Technology Coach.
And this is Vartek Tuesday. So today's topic is EdPuzzle. We'll be talking about how to use EdPuzzle, right now how to create an EdPuzzle video, and then in our next video, we'll talk about how to integrate EdPuzzle into Schoology.
So our objective for this particular video is we want teachers to be able to create an EdPuzzle video that has questions, notes, and links. EdPuzzle is an assessment-centered tool, meaning that it's based on questions and interactivity. So it allows teachers and students to create interactive online videos to be able to share.
Creating content within EdPuzzle is really quick and easy. You have three options of content types, if you will. So the first is called pre-created. And what that really means to you is that someone else in the EdPuzzle community has already created the video. They've already assigned questions. They've maybe made notes along the way. Maybe they've even done a voiceover. All that stuff has already been built in. They've done it for you and they've shared it so that you can use it too. The next one I'm going to call borrowed. And the reason I say borrowed video, if you will, is because in this case, you go out to maybe an Ed Talk or YouTube, you find some great video, but it's just a video right now. So you're going to borrow that video and then you're going to create your own EdPuzzle. So you're going to embed your own voiceovers, your own questions, your own notes. You're going to create that portion of the content. And then the last one, uploading videos, is really where you do it all. So it's your video that you've created. You create the content, you create the questions, it's all you. So the first type of EdPuzzle that we're going to talk about is the pre-made EdPuzzle. So the great thing about this one is somebody else has already done the work for you. So all you have to do is go out and find the one that fits you best, right? So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and log into your EdPuzzle account, and then you're going to go to the three little lines here, the hamburger. You're going to open it up and you're going to hit My Content. Now, you're trying to import somebody else's work, though, into your EdPuzzle account. So we're still going to add content and create a video. And then the cool thing about this piece is that you can actually search by content area. You can search by grade level. You can even search by country or a combination of those things. So in order to kind of demonstrate that, I'm going to go ahead and choose language arts. And I'm going to say go ahead and save that. You can see it there. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick a grade level as well. So in this case, I'm going to go down and say, I'm going to look for 10th grade content. And now that's my criteria. But you saw I could have chosen 9th and 10th grade content if I wanted to, just to see what's out there. So here are already made videos by other folks. And you just go down and you find something. Let's say that I'm teaching a mini lesson on predicates. So I want something that's kind of short, but I want to be able to kind of check for understanding along the way. This video is 2 minutes and 58 seconds long. What I also know is that there are seven different things built into this video. So maybe stopping points where a question is asked, maybe the teacher's clarifying, something of that nature. This one looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and it's going to allow me to preview the video. So as you preview the video, it's just going to go through, and you see these little dots.
Is going to teach you
the little dots
sentences
are going to actually be the stopping points in the video that are going to help. And again, it'll be questions, there'll be statements, there'll be some note taking from the teacher, anything like that. But at this point, I've already previewed this video. I've decided all of that content would be great for my kids. I just want to keep it. So I'm going to click Assign, and you're going to do that by hitting the hamburger over here. And I'm going to click Assign. Now, you may notice that there's an edit button here. That means that I could go in and change some things if I wanted to, but I'm just stealing this content. So I'm assigning it and I'm all done.
So in this segment, we are actually going to be taking a video that has either been on YouTube, TED-Ed, or many other sites, and we're going to be adding questions to it ourselves. So some of the first steps that we're going to do are the same as what we did previously. We're still going to go to this hamburger up here. And we're still going to go to My Content. And we're also still going to create a video. So instead of looking at the EdPuzzle community, I want to look at YouTube, and I want to find a YouTube video. So going through here, we have some other ideas that are already available to us. and I want to take this video on killer whales. So I am going to click on that, and I can preview the video. So I'd be able to push play, preview the video, make sure it's what I like. If I see some parts that I either feel are not appropriate for my students yet, for their age group, or if I don't like a certain part of the video and it's too much information for them, I'm going to want to be able to edit this. I may not want them to see the entire video. So to do that, I'm going to go up here to my hamburger, and I'm going to click edit. This is going to make a copy of this video into my content folder. So now I have different ways to edit this. The first way is called the cut. The cut is going to allow me to either shorten the video
are critically endangered, largely.
I can shorten the video to different places. I can also add cuts. So if I want to, instead put a cut in the middle and divide this out more, I can do that. So now I have two different segments of the video. If I'm not happy with that and I want to go back to the full video, I can always reset and it'll give me back the full video again. But I want to make this a little shorter. I think 4 minutes and 36 seconds. It might be a little long for my age group. So I'm going to cut it down to get rid of the very end and cut down the front a little bit. When I'm done with the cut, I don't have to click anything quite yet. I can move on to the next part of my editing, and that next part is voiceover. Now the thing with voiceover is it only works on certain types of videos. If it's a YouTube video, YouTube has protections on it that won't allow us to voice over it. If it's a video that you've created, or if it comes from a different company, you're going to be able to record your voice over it. So if it's someone displaying how to do a math problem, you would be able to speak over it and explain the math problem. Since this is coming from YouTube, I'm not going to be able to voice over it, so I'm going to skip this part, and I'm going to go on to the most important part, and that is our questions. Now, we have three options to add in as stopping points into our video. We can create multiple choice questions, we can create open-ended questions, or we can simply add notes if there's certain notes that we want our students to know. This is really good to add at the beginning of the video to be able to have students know, hey, this is what I expect you to do while you are watching this video, or maybe at the end to remind them to do something, or hey, you have an assignment afterwards. So I'm going to add a few things here. First thing I want to add is an open-ended question. So I'm going to find a place in the video where I want them to stop and answer a question. So right here, about 47 seconds in, I'm going to add an open-ended question. And I can type my question in here. I can also add in links. I can add in images. And math teachers, we can also add in math problems. There's a function button here. So I'm going to type my question here. And it's just a very simple question. What are whales? And after I'm done typing in my question, I'm going to click save.
As the summit.
And so now that question is going to appear when students get to the 47-second mark. If I want to add something else, say further
This
in,
means that as a female killer whale.
and let's say I want to add a note here, I can add a note. I can also use the microphone to record a voice note. So if I have students who maybe are struggling with reading, I can record a vocal note to remind them of something, to write something down. So I can say, write this down. And save.
Ages.
So like the question, it's going to appear as a dot on here. So let's say I'm done. I'm happy with my video. I've edited it. I've cut it down. I've changed it. I've added voiceover if I need to, and I added the questions. I'm completely done editing everything, and I'm ready to move this on. I'm going to click finish up here at the top. And then I can preview the entire video with my edits. So it will stop where my questions are, and it will also stop where my notes are. It will play the sound, and I'll be able to view it. If I'm happy with it, I go to the hamburger, and I can click assign.
So the final kind of video that we're going to talk about is the one that you create yourself. So you've created the video, you're going to create the content, you're going to do it pretty much in the same way that Christine showed you earlier, but we're going to go ahead and step through that process. So again, we're going to start out with my content. So we'll hit the hamburger, we'll hit my content. We're going to add content again. This time you've already created your video, so we're going to upload a video. I'm going to grab it from my Google Drive. And then it's going to, once I get signed in here, it's going to give me an option. I can go start scrolling down and find my video that's housed in my Google Drive somewhere, or I can cheat, which is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go search for it. So mine is called My Movie. So I'm going to type in a few letters and ask it to go find it for me. You can see I found it here. So I'm going to go ahead and click it and click select. At this point, it's going to load the video. It may take a little while for this part because your video may be a lot longer than mine. My video is 7 seconds long. So you can see right here, it's preparing my video. It's going to take a minute for it to prepare. So we gave it a little time to upload. Here's our video. You'll see that at this point, there's not a whole lot here, but we can go ahead in exactly the same way that Christine was importing some questions and creating her own content. You can do the same thing here. So you can go through, decide where you're going to do it. Right here is where I want something to happen. So I'm going to choose that spot and edit it. And then the same thing. So if this is where I want it, I can voice over, I can add my questions, I can do whatever I want to. I'm going to save it in exactly the same manner that we did in the last video, the last segment, and we're all done. Welcome to Tech Tip of the Day. Today's topic is going to be polling in your learning management system.
Learning management systems, for example, are Schoology, Canvas, Google Classroom, and so on.
So I really like the polling function for a couple of things. I like to use it for a quick check for understanding, but I also like to look and poll kids for maybe preferences. So let's say that we're trying to decide on a class novel, for instance. It's really nice to do a quick poll, find out what your kids are interested in, or even if you're trying to group kids in projects. So let's say that you're doing something on World War II, for instance, and you want to pick different topics within that broad spectrum. You can figure out which kids are interested. So there's a lot of way that you can use this tool. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how you can use it as a quick formative assessment piece. So when you go into Schoology, this is actually, we're going to do Schoology platform today. But again, as we mentioned earlier, Canvas, Google Classroom, all of them will have some type of polling tool for you. So when you get into Schoology, you're just going to pick your updates. And then when you get in there, you already see this box. Well, if you click right here on the little polling thing, it's going to actually set it up so that you can go ahead and create your question. So here you write your question, and then question. Your question goes there, and then your answers. So I want add. Do I subtract here, and so on. And then I post it. Once I've posted my question, it's out there for all of my kids to see. And as they answer the question, I'm going to see a little number here that lets me know how many kids have picked that answer. And it's also kind of going to gray out the ones that, to let me know which answer is most popular. So really quickly, I'm going to be able to check for understanding. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dr. Kat Childers.
And I'm Christine Jesse.
And this was Vartek Tuesday.